I'm with you again once again. It's
mate.
It's been a while, but I love it.
It has been a while.
All right, let's get into this one. A very, very important game here for the Team Liquid player. Also important for Leenock because he's also down 0-2. Let's jump into the game and find out which way this is going to shape up. And it's a pause to start things off. Moonglade.
It's a bit of lag here. So we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully that can get resolved pretty quickly. It is Swedish internet, so there shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, it should be able to fix that soon. But let's talk a little bit about this matchup then. So we've got Leenock, who traditionally has been a player who has been pretty aggressive over his time period.
Very aggressive, yeah.
He's got a good set of roach bailing type of attacks, sling bailing type of attacks. Do you think this is the style and the approach that he'll take to Bunny in this game?
You know, he can do like a whole ton of styles. He's very, very good at aggression. He can go for a very, very strong Ling Muta Bane style. He still uses burrowed Banelings when no one else does. Like, he has such great control that whatever he does do, he makes it work. And I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where Leenock is in this matchup. The last time I remember seeing Leenock was like in the Taiwan Open where he defeated Tasia in the first round.
And what was the style he used there?
I believe he was going for like the Baneling bust. Yeah, like I believe it was Roach Bane style.
Oh,
very
there's Leenock's eyebrows.
That's his eyebrows.
That's his eyebrows.
And his colored hair.
And his colored hair.
He always
I promise you
hair.
That's Leenock. It is Leenock.
No lies here.
I mean, maybe you can find his eyebrows from this location. You might be able to, piece the two together and see that it is him. But I think when Leenock, I mean, when was that tournament? That was a couple of months back now, right? Maybe 2 months?
The Taiwanese one? Yeah. It was a while ago.
That was during a period where Zergs were really aggressive in roach bailing anyway, right?
Yeah.
But Terrans have started to adapt a little bit more, opening a lot more.
It's going to be different
Banshee.
this time around. It's going to be different this time around. And I mean, Bunny it's kind of like a standard sort of Terran. Like, he's one of the foreign Terrans that doesn't really have any sort of like unique style. He just plays a very, very straight up sort of Korean style where he has powerful macro behind him. And he likes kind of ordinary openings, which is a great thing to see. You know, it makes for like not the most exciting sort of explosive sort of strategies, but it's still great to see like a foreign Terran playing at that level, at that very, very high macro level above all else.
Well, we talked a little bit earlier with the not so much the training. I guess it definitely does come into consideration, because a lot of times when you say, all right, these two players are on the same team, they practice against you, and you just automatically say that. But actually, Bunny and Snoot do practice, and Kilo, they all play together quite a lot.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of games with Bunny versus Snoot recently, and Bunny's pretty much won the majority of them. You know, even though Snoot's looked as the kind of #1 non-Korean up there, more so than Scarlet and Bunny these days.
Yeah.
People are kind of forgetting when it comes to head-to-head, Bunny actually wins all the time against this guy.
Yeah,
and surely can bring that performance today too.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely think I'd have to say it's one of his better matchups, simply because he has Snoot and TLO as practice partners. I mean, that's going to help so much. So we'll have to wait and see. It looks like the game will be remade.
Do you have any predictions for this then?
You know, it is such a hard one to predict. I think it could go 1-2 either way. I haven't seen Leenock play yet. He had a very, very close match with Life though. So, I mean, that kind of says something like Leenock is not playing badly. And yeah, we haven't had a chance to see Bunny either because he hasn't been on the mainstream.
That's right. And we did say it as well, that you kind of have to 0-2 versus Tasia. I mean, it's Tasia at the end of the day. The guy that's top of the group hasn't lost the map and is looking to beat Life, the BlizzCon champion, again. So
yeah, exactly right. So still getting this sort of sorted out by the looks of things.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It seemed like the game crashed or something at the start there. But
yeah. Well, first map is going to be Foxtrot Labs.
Okay, well, I mean, this does play into an aggressive stance potentially here for Leenock. Can be a little bit tricky.
He can, yeah.
Do you think this has a certain, favoritism between the two sides here, Terran and Zerg?
I think this is Terran favored map. It can be kind of positional because you can spawn in 2 different positions. So it can kind of come down to that. But I think Bunny should be pretty happy with this map. It's a good map to do his kind of style. He likes to go like Reaper, Hellion, Banshee. Like, this would be a good map for it because the third base can be pretty out there and can be harassed quite heavily. All
right, let's talk a little bit about since we got a minute or two by the looks of it, there's a recent style that's become really popular in Korea from Zerg's side, and it's the 6 gas style. You don't take your 7th and 8th gas.
Yes.
You stay more so mineral focused. You have a very low Mutalist count. It's a lot more focused on Ling, Baneling, and kind of...
It's high aggression, like you want to kill in the mid-game sort of thing. It's designed towards like Terrans that are going to move out of the map. You crush that army and you don't stop. You just constantly Lings streaming across the map. You're trying to finish the game then and there. Because you do have that opening in the mid-game when the Terran has their first move out with a lot of mines and bio, and if you can just get a great engagement, you trade well, and you still have all your mutas as well as a lot of Bane Ling, you just go for the finish. Because
but
if you
why
can
is
get
that style so popular, though?
Well, it kind of makes sense because of the way Terran is played at the moment. Like, they do move out in that timing, they have that bio ball, and once you cut that off, it's about getting into the production. If you can get into the production from there, Terran can just die. Like, they'll die to the silliest things if you just can be in top of those barracks. And I mean, it makes a lot of sense. We saw Su do it very, very well in the past. He kind of failed at it in the WCS round of was it round of 16 against Tasia?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
he did it. He's very, very good at it. He has perfect macro behind it, but like Su was just overcommitting, which was his biggest mistake. And I mean, I'm sure we can see that from Leenock as well. All
right, well, I guess we'll have to find out here. Looks like the game is ready. Sorry about that, but we can jump into map number 1 between, of course, Liquid Bunny and Yowie Flash Wolves Leenock. As mentioned, a very important game for both sides. Let's jump in. Let's find out which way this is going to go. As up here to the top left, playing for Yowie Flash Wolves, it's, of course, Leenock. He's a hyper-aggressive Zerg player. If you don't know him too well, you should do. He's been around since the beginning of StarCraft 2. And he goes up against, you know, definitely top 3 non-Korean. Down to the bottom right, it's Liquid Bunny. And in a very difficult group, been drawn into the group of death, Group A. And the reason why it's a group of death is not just because it's got a lot of great players, Moonglade.
That's
it
right.
also has 2 champions of Dreamhack this year. And it looks like a little bit of lag.
Just a little teeny little bit.
Just tiny little bit of lag.
Might actually be my laptop.
Is it you?
It might be me, mate.
But should be all right. Looks like we can start this straight away. There's the beautiful stage, of course, of Dreamhack Open 2014, Group A to your... wait. It's split A, B, A, B, so it's Group B, A, B, A, B. Then it goes back to A, B, A, B, A. See that?
Wow, you're filling out time perfectly.
Mate, I'm real good at this.
Oh, man. Unfortunately, it is my laptop, and we're going to have to wait till I time out before we can resume the game.
It's only got a couple more seconds, Moonglade.
Only 25 more seconds to go.
People love it when we talk to each other. Because of our accents, it's this exotic style.
You're the Palm, I'm the Aussie.
That's right, mate. We're basically cousins.
Well, we pretty much are. We could be. You never know, man. Go back all the way till the convicts got deported. I could have been, you know, your cousin.
You could have, mate. You could have been an Englishman.
Nah.
But that's not the way that history went down, was it, Moonglade?
Shouldn't have stole that bread, Dad.
All right, we are ready to jump back into this, so thanks again for bearing with us. We can begin this once again. Players are ready, and we can jump in. So you said prediction either way 2-1, right?
Either way 2-1 in my opinion.
I'm going either way 2-0.
Okay. Wow. Straight up.
I'm confident, man.
Oh, that's good. That's a good prediction. And we'll have to wait and see how this first game goes there. I'm really, really curious to see how both these players are playing at the moment.
The thing is, I noticed with Bunny is he plays a very, you know, typical Terran style, but he's very, very immaculate with his timings. You know, if he spots something where he can go, for example, I guess the biggest example with Bunny is he's making the Swarm Host switch. Bang, you're dead. Yeah. Like that type of player, and to have that kind of clinical knowledge of when to go and when not to go, I think is going to be so crucial against a player like Leenock.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very, very standard openings here. I mean, Reaper's very, very good on this map. Reaper opening, perfect start here. Bunny loves the Reaper opening, so no surprise at all. And hatch first from Leenock, so not playing super safe or anything. Just going to play to the map, play that standard game that Leenock likes as well. So
we should be seeing pretty regular openings, but talk to me a little bit about the mid game to the late game. Is there any specific locations, more so, not Leenock, but Bunny's going to be focusing on? Where's his army going to be focused? Where's his push? Where's his parade?
One of the hardest things in this map is getting a 4th base for Zerg. If you can actually look at the 4th bases that are out there, and like, they're so easy to attack for a Terran. Like for Leenock, that bottom one, there's like a clear path right to like behind it. Yeah. So it's such a hard base to hold. And the other one is the gold base, and Terran can just set up shop behind it, and you'll never mind from them. So it's a very, very hard map considering that, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see Leenock be very aggressive.
All right, well, I'll definitely keep that at the back of my mind. Thank you very much, Moonglade.
You're welcome, mate.
All of the fans at home as well are going to be leeching off your knowledge, your fountain of StarCraft knowledge, Moonglade.
Latch onto my brain, everybody. We're going to go on a ride.
Going to go on a roller coaster with Moonglade today.
We're going to learn everything about Zerg, especially my favorite race.
6 Zerglings, 2 Queens, of course, 6 to push back this Reaper.
As you can see, Reaper has like a little hallway there that they can retreat into and trade very, very efficiently with Zerglings. And he'll constantly be doing that until Zergling speed or a Queen is out. And 6 Zerglings is always kind of the standard sort of opening here, but he is sending 2 towards the natural, going to try and harass that CC building.
Yeah. He spotted the gas, right? The income with the Reaper. Am I wrong?
Yeah, he definitely did.
Okay. So he knows that he's got a bit of a time limit on when and how much damage he can get done with this Reaper. He's going to have to back off.
He is going to have
simple explanations that Zergling speed's going to be done, Moonblade.
Oh, yeah. But wait a second. He's actually getting a little bit of damage here. Zergling's
gets
completely out of position.
Yeah, gets 1 drone kill there, then actually boots himself out the back and is out of there. The 3rd Reaper has been made. But he knows that Zergling speed's going to be done soon, so he's going to back off. The factory's on its way. 3rd command center on the way. There's no overlords in position to really scout out what's going on. Is that not a bit of a mistake? Is that there should be an overlord towards the south?
A mistake, Apollo.
What if there's going to be Hellbats?
You'll die, mate. You'll just simply die, and it's one of the biggest problems with Zerg. If, on one of these maps, it is kind of hard to get an overlord in position. You can just die from a 2-base timing.
Yeah.
If, for instance, Bunny decides, you know what, I am not going to go for that 3CC. I'm going to go for 2CC. I'm going to go for that Hellbat timing with Marines and a medivac, and you will just die. It's as simple as that, and it's one of the biggest threats for Zerg. Constantly, you have to get that Overlord scout in, or you have to find a way in to understand if there's going to be 2 or 3 CCs.
Well, at this moment, we see a starport coming in, barracks and tech lab on the inside the main base there. So looks like we're going to see a bit of Banshee action here potentially, and then Overlord goes in. So it's actually good that despite not having an Overlord around the back there, he gets in at the right time, spots what's going on, sees the switch up.
And it's exactly how I thought it would go down. It's going to be that Hellion Banshee with a couple of Reapers here. It's definitely the style that we see Bunny go quite often.
Yep.
And I mean, we saw our 3rd base at the goal, which I think is the most interesting thing of all Leenock has been doing. It's going to be very, very hard to hold, and I mean, it's going to be very, very hard to hold, especially against Banshees.
What do you think about the single gas coming out from Leenock? Where's his extra gas? Where's his evolution chambers? Where's he going with this game?
It seems like he's going to invest in Queens, a lot of Queens here, and I think that's a great decision against what Bunny is going. A lot of Queens can help against Hellion Banshee, but at the same time, that's 3 Reapers, and 3 Reapers will help a great deal against Queens. They do so much extra damage compared to what Hellions would do. So we'll have to wait and see here if Bunny's going to find exactly where that 3rd is and understand what he has to do.
Yeah,
but
he hasn't seen it yet.
Cheeky little run by here.
Yeah, not going to get too much here. I'm going to try and get inside the main base, but do get shut down. There's a switch up of the production here. I'm going to start to see the barracks pumping out, get the stim on the way, but 8 roaches being built to push this slight attack back, but it's going to be more than enough here to deal with this. 8 roaches, a couple of Queens as well, as you said.
Yeah, this is completely going to be in a great position here, and you know, it is pretty interesting looking at what he has so far. Just going to be kind of like harassing, applying some pressure here. And oh, this Banshee has to be careful here, taking a lot of damage already.
Yeah, already down 50 hit points out of the total 140.
Yeah.
No cloak was, of course, invested into, so...
Exactly. So he's not really finding much damage at all here, and it looks like Bunny is just going to accept that he knows what's going on and not apply too much more.
Roach speed has been researched here for Leenock. Double evolution chamber going to come down. He's going to focus on his economy. He's got more than enough defense against these Hellions and Banshee and so on. And
yeah, I kind of, you know what, I like what Leenock is doing. He's going for the Roach Hydra sort of style here. And I think it kind of, it's going to be good on this map because it is an awkward map to go for 4-base, Ling Muta Bane on. I think this could actually be a great move from Leenock. And I mean, the biggest thing of all is having Roaches to stop the Hellions, to stop any sort of harassment on behind the mineral line here, which is like going to be the hardest thing about having a gold against the
synergy between these units here is fantastic, actually. The Banshee getting a lot of damage done. The Reaper's jumping up. The Hellions doing quite a bit there, and he's destroyed a lot of these Roaches.
He has indeed here.
And we've seen that +1 carapace coming in, and 7 additional Roaches here. But behind this, Bunny had identified what he's kind of playing against, knowing the gold's been taken, the kind of the way this is played out. He's already building tanks.
Oh, down goes the Banshee from a couple of Queens here, and yeah, he's going into tanks. He knows exactly what he's up against here, and it kind of just looks like we're just going to see a massive, massive Roach timing from Leenock. Oh, a little bit more damage here, but it should be enough to kind of clean this up. And once this gets cleaned up, I mean, Bunny's not going to have any idea what's on the map, which is going to be a big problem.
Well, we'll have to follow exactly where Leenock decides to go. 14 additional zerglings being made after he's cleaned up the harassment. So let's keep watching that. Hydralisk then going to come down here, as well as a macro hatch to really pump out these units. And it all comes down to Bunny now. How is he playing this out?
I mean, looking at what he has so far, that is not many Marines, and that is one tank. So if there's enough roaches, we could actually see something happen here. But it looks like he's going to just settle for denying some upgrades, which I also like a lot here.
That's pretty big. He gets this,
but he doesn't. He actually, yeah, that ended up being kind of a bit of a mistake. But yeah, at the very least, he's going to apply pressure on the third, and he should be able to stop it from landing anytime soon.
Well, surely with the style that Leenock's chosen, it's very powerful as the upgrade's complete, maybe very powerful when he's on 2-2 and the Hydralisk there.
Yeah.
But doesn't it weaken the longer the game goes, which therefore gives Bunny more opportunities to win the game the longer the game goes as well?
That is very true. Absolutely true there.
Or do you think you can play and transition well with it, either up to Vipers or Swarm Hosts?
I think Vipers will definitely be the last choice here. It's going to go into the Hydralisk from here. And I mean, it is a good kind of attack angle from that third base. If you go for the top down, like you can snipe the command center and get out of there. I mean, there's only 2 tanks so far, a third one going down now.
Yeah.
It's simply not enough really to threaten that many Roach Hydra.
And Bunny knows exactly who he's playing against. Despite not having active units out there, he did scan the second base of Leenock and saw the Hydralisk den, so he knows where the commitment's going to be.
Exactly right.
He also knows a potential weakness could be drops, right? I mean, you got no Spy, you got no Mulisks.
That is one way to completely take Roach Hydra, like make them split up, force a lot of pressure on it because it's so hard to defend against drops. You need a lot of static defense and you need to have like a lot of active like Roaches back home.
But I think Leenock, knowing this, is very wisely spread his overlords out. He's got Hydralisk in defensive position at the north here as well, just making sure he does not miss any drops here, which could surprise him while he keeps on the pressure at the front door.
Yeah.
And if he gets one of these engineering bays...
looks like he's going to get the armor upgrade here. Oh, was that the +2 actually?
Yeah, and then he actually cancelled the armor to go back into +2 attack.
Ah, right.
So nice
that's very important actually. Terran upgrades, even super important against the Roach Hydra style. You definitely want to get that +2 and +3.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference in these in this matchup in general.
Well, we've just seen Leenock slap down the infestation pin inside the main base here. It's going to allow him to go up towards the hive. He could make a Swarmo switch, I suppose. It's not out of the question.
Yeah, he could. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. But at the same time, I feel like it should be for Viper.
Yeah.
Because considering we do see siege tanks already, and Viper's is so good against siege tank.
Yeah. But at this moment, Bunny's just locked the doors, the windows. He's kind of buckled down here, not wanting to take damage versus this, knowing that it's a very aggressive and very powerful style in the mid-game, especially when these 2 upgrades complete, which are almost done here for Leenock. This is not a wise attack.
No, I kind of think, yeah, Leenock really has to get the Vipers a lot sooner than he thinks. He's kind of just sat on tier 2 for a very long time.
Marines.
That's a lot of Marines, and that's a lot of tanks. These tanks are getting more and more, and like the more tanks you have, the easier this fight's going to be when it eventually happens.
Do you think that, well, what's Bunny seen? He hasn't seen the hive more, but is he getting ready to move out soon? When is the right... Well, he scans at this moment.
He's getting ready. He's seen the army. He's like, okay, I know you're going towards Vipers here, and like, I have to make a move if I'm committing to this kind of army, because once Vipers are out, this kind of army is going to get wrecked.
All right, well, the hive, a long way away. Still got a good minute on it, and then obviously to build the Vipers too. Bunny pushes forward, sees the army. He's got a bunch of Marines here. The upgrade's not yet done. +2 carapace about to finish for Leenock, which will help these roaches at the front.
Yeah.
Of course, the +2 attack going to be very helpful for the Hydralisk as well.
One other thing that I kind of think is a little bit of a misplay here that I constantly seen against Roach Hydra style is a lot of medivacs. Like a huge count of medivacs to make such a difference against this kind of army.
Well,
and here we go.
First fight, and Leenock's running away. The Hydralisk exposed. They do turn around into a bit of a better arc, and Bunny decides not to fight that without his tanks. He's adding on more and more while building up a 4th base, while continuing to produce 14 additional roaches here. And Leenock pokes forward. He grabs a tank and a medivac or 2.
It's almost not enough Hydras there. Like, he's got to be very careful how he engages this, because Stim will catch up to these Hydras and crush them.
Oh, and siege there from Bunny allows Leenock to jump forward and pick off 2 of the tanks. He does take a few Hydralisk losses in return.
Oh, Bunny's going to commit to this, actually.
Is he chasing? He just turns back here. 10 Hydros lost there as 10 are in the production. He stims again, and there is not that much for Leenock here. A lot of it's still in reinforcements. Can he break through this?
Oh, it's going to be very, very close. A great concave from Leenock. It might actually just be enough.
Bunny gets pushed back there, loses his 2 tanks. He loses his siege tank line.
Ooh.
And he has to fall back to his second base once again. Cannot break out, cannot go past that halfway point.
Yeah, he really wants to get a 4th base down very, very soon because, I mean, it's going to get even harder once Vipers are finally out. They're on the way. Finally on the way, and you know, might I add, fantastic creep spread from Leenock.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, keeping his supply high, making some really good trades, getting his 3-3 upgrades. The overall spreading creep to deny his command center and turning around, taking a fight that he can win. And the Vipers went into the field, a couple of blinding clouds on this bio ball. It's going to mess with the UI, or
it's gonna make them be completely unable to attack, and they will naturally run forward if that is the case. So it does kind of screw up the AI a little bit.
Well, Bunny's got to make something work here. He had his opportunity in the midpoint as the transition. Remember, we talked about the way that he can hit his timings. He couldn't quite hit it in this game as Leenock held him back. And now he has to take a 4th base. His main base is pretty much mined out at this point.
Yeah.
He needs to keep his income going. He needs to be able to fight against the Vipers and continue to produce. It's not looking good for Bunny. He must take this 4th base location.
He absolutely has to, and I think he will be able to push back, but the creep is going to give him a lot better of a timing here.
Where are the Vipers?
It's going to give him more time, that's for sure. And the Vipers still consuming here. They will have full energy, so they'll have at least 2 blinding clouds each. And I think that's all Leenock's ever going to need to kind of push his 4th back here.
He's at 200 supply here. He's not going to really wait on his 3-3 upgrades. He will strike very shortly. Here come the Vipers. Correct blinding clouds will nullify a lot of this army. And if that happens, we all know that Leenock's going to crush through here. He's looking for the perfect time to strike. He knows the army's marching up this ramp.
Here we go. Nice concave from Leenock here, and perfect blinding clouds. It's going to be so hard for Bunny to hold in. You see the Marines and Marauders running further and further forward into the Hydra's range. There's so many medibacks, so maybe he has enough actually to hold on.
Yeah, surprise, surprise here. Bunny's taking his fight rather well. And he's going to clean up these Hydros and Roaches. A very good fight there from Bunny.
Yeah,
what was the big difference there? That didn't really look like it was going to go in his favor, but it
didn't look like it, but I think like it ended up being like the reinforcements from Bunny also helped so much to create like an even bigger concave than what Leenock had up that ramp. So it kind of ended up just being a bit too deep there for Leenock. Just bad commitment there.
Well, Bunny's taking his 4th base, as we kind of pointed out was important to do. He's unlocked his opponent's gold as well. And he's going to bring this down as a macro hatch. There's 2 of them there. 3 upgrades are going to complete for both players, so I guess that does not matter that much if it's for both of these. But
yeah,
good fight from Bunny. He's right back in this now.
He is right back in this, and we see Leenock going for Broodlords. Now, I like this transition a lot as well. This could definitely clean up the army that Bunny currently has. If he can get Broodlords without Bunny kind of waiting for it and detecting it and going straight into Vikings, like he would be in such a great position to push back the army, take down the 4th, and then really cripple Bunny.
And we'll see if he can concentrate on that one. Bunny's not noticed the Spire being built at all. He doesn't know about the Greater Spire. Is this a very typical transition that we're seeing from Leenock? Is this something that a lot of players, when playing this style, will go on to the next level? Like the Roach Hydra, you're expecting the Hydras to come into play, then expect the Vipers. Do you expect the Greater Spire next?
I think it is a pretty natural transition. Like, you have to kind of transition from Roach Hydra eventually because it's never going to stick forever. And also we're going to see a snipe on the Planetary here, but he's going to be so careful because Bunny's army is coming from behind.
Oh, this is a big play from Leenock, but this counter from Bunny could work out really well. It gets right up close and personal to this army. And these 3-3 Marine Marauders are doing a lot of damage here.
Yeah, it's a big trade here, but I mean, look at Leenock's bank as well. And Leenock might actually be able to fight this army off. There's just enough Hydras, but there comes the reinforcements, so maybe Leenock should run away. He should run away.
He's going to lose everything if he stays here, but he trades off the 4th command center and economy for his army, but knowing that he has expansions all around the map and still having a large income, and this transition coming in, which you're going to need a lot of starports for it, you're going to need Vikings.
You're going to need a lot of... he has a lot of gas, I guess, so he doesn't have to worry about that. I think the biggest thing is going to be minerals at this point.
But he doesn't even know it's happening. He's got absolutely no idea this transition's been made. He's going to be very, very surprised in seconds once these Broodlords march forward.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Bunny's going to have to stim under them. That's like the one thing he can do. But
I mean, can he snipe these expansions back off and then buy himself time?
He can lift. He can lift after he snipes it. And I think that might be the best move here. Once he sees the Broodlords, he'll be like, okay, I have to get out of here now.
He starts his Viking production. There's a hatchery that's gone uncontested down to the south here, which Leenock will use to reinforce with. But right now, Bunny trading off against a couple of these units in the middle, and he's going to retake his 4th command center at the same time here to get his income back up and going, but he still needs a bit of time. He's only got those 2 Vikings, and he's going to need a lot more than that, especially with Hydralisk and Vipers around to support these Broodlords too.
Yeah, and good position here for Leenock, but he's going to wait for those Broodlords to come in to make this ultra cost-efficient sort of attack.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm kind of liking where Leenock is, but he has to pressure issue now. He cannot wait because he has shown the Broodlords, and now he's kind of his trump card at this point. He has chosen his tech, and he just has to go. And it looks like Bunny's going to try and stim in here and try and snipe them.
Good pullback here by Leenock. Queens into purple. One of the Broodlords do go down. He's trying to focus another one. He's not going to get it, and here comes the fight. Great blinding cloud by Leenock, pushing this army back. Very equal in army supply at this point. And a very close game by 2 great players here to start this off. Remember the importance of this, with Bunny losing his first game in the group and Leenock losing 2 games in this group stage. Very important match for both of these players. Very important map.
Very, very important. And I think Leenock cannot wait much longer. He has to start applying a lot of damage, start applying a fight. He's got to force Bunny to make the move here because, you know, the economy is in Bunny's favor at this point, I believe.
Vikings doing great here. I mean, of course, he's got Queens to help out, but just the presence of these Vikings, and he's re-established the 4th base. This is huge for Bunny to be able to keep that income going. Of course, the 4th base is good, but he's going to need a 5th as well soon, so that is something which is in Leenock's side as well.
Yep. Oh, another stim in here. Looks like he's going to go for a massive concave surround. Only 3 Broodlords left. Oh, 4 now.
Well,
but,
how much damage is going to be dealt here?
Good.
There's a lot of Marines, but the Broodlords just aren't going down with the Queen support underneath. Just transfuse, they stay alive. And remember, he started off with 5 Broodlords. That was lost about 5 minutes ago. We did see a hatchery picked off there, though, by Bunny. That is a great counterplay, considering that his focus was on that fight, and he's bought himself some time. He's pulled Leenock back. This is an opportunity for him to rebuild and, you know, look for that 5th eventually here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a perfect sort of response to what the army is. It is very, very slow. And Hydra and Broodlord, they're not going to go anywhere anytime soon to defend. So yeah, it's so important to have active drops around the map while you're defending against this. Yeah, getting a better composition, getting enough Vikings to deal with the Broodlords, which are pretty much the one thing that Bunny's having so much trouble with at this point.
Yeah, I don't think we highlighted enough, but that pick off for the hatchery, such a great move
by
Bunny.
That is such a game changer because that is such an important base. Yeah. Like, Leenock's economy is not good right now.
And then to do that while being pressured at the same time, knowing that you don't really have enough Vikings, you're kind of losing these fights, or at least trading off when you don't have the money to keep up with Leenock.
Yeah.
Very, very good move there. Almost, I mean, for the last 10 minutes, probably the biggest move of this game, such a simple drop like that.
Yep, and we caught the tail end of that one, but yeah, it is such a huge move here. And now we see Bunny taking another base here. They're a very, very important 5th base. That 4th is going to get mined out so quickly because of the mules.
Yeah. Matisse has managed to establish himself quite a Viking count now. He's up to 6. Huge Viking count there.
Yeah,
but he's working on 7 and 8.
Yeah, it's nearly enough to kind of be comfortable in these fights here. Vipers have been added again now, and if he can get sniped at CC, it's going to be absolutely huge.
Oh, yeah, this is quite bad at this point, but Bunny at the same time is coming from back here, but there's Fungals! Fungals in a very important area here. The Infest is coming around. A lot of this gets Fungal, but they're not really dying off. There's a lot of energy on these medivacs. Bunny is going to be able to escape with quite a few units there, but most importantly, he did lose the command center there.
Yeah. Once again, losing a CC like this, and I mean, if Leenock can find a go down and take out that 3rd base, he's going to be in such a powerful position. 4th base.
I think all the Broodlords got taken down there too. I don't think we saw that.
Yeah,
they've actually gone. These Vikings have managed to catch them at the back there. And
but you know what? He does have Fungals now. He does have Blinding Cloud, and them together can create such a cost-efficient sort of fight as well, where the Terran cannot absolutely do anything because they're stuck under Blinding Cloud.
Whew, what a game here.
Once again, another drop on this very, very unguarded base down here. Very, very hard to defend with this unit composition.
Yeah, and he's trying to come back to survive this. He needs to target down that hatchery instead of loose drones around, but unfortunately not going to be able to pick that off, and Leenock does manage to survive that. And we're going to see a 3rd command center. The 3rd base command center lifted up. He's used the main, he's used the natural, and now it's time to use the 3rd. Try to retake that, but there's also creep spread up there now, which is going to be a little bit annoying, but I guess look at this bank for Leenock here. 1,800 minerals, 1,000 gas. He's kept this base up and running. He's got access to another one in the bottom left as well.
Yeah, he's looking good despite taking a lot of eco damage. You know, he's still hanging in there. He is maxed out. 20 supply lead for him. And yeah, just building a bank at this point.
His core army is still Roach Hydra, and I guess
that is the problem.
I mean, it's going to come from the combination of the Vipers and Fungal, surely. I mean, that's all he really has going.
It's really going to come down to that. He needs to have the Blinding Clouds. He has to have the Fungals. He is upgrading. He's been upgrading melee for a while, so it looks like he is going to make a transition to Ultras and Lings eventually.
Is that a good thing when there's 19 Marauders in field, though? You know? I guess maybe if he can hit the Fungal, the Blinding Cloud, and the Ultralist.
Fungal and Transfuse. Those are the combination to keep Ultras alive against that sort of army here. As well as, Blinding Cloud going to be a very, very huge part of that.
All right, well, Vikings still around to hopefully pick off some of these Vipers here for Bunny, but Leenock playing a great game, a very different game to what we usually see here. We don't really see this kind of combination of units and spells that so commonly or so uncommonly used in this matchup, but Leenock's bringing it to play. And both players kind of fighting up this north location.
Yeah, Bunny being very, very smart with his positioning as well. You know, he's always in position to defend the space, which he absolutely has to do more than anything else. Same time, though, Leenock with the sick creep spread knows exactly where the army is, and he can actually move around the map very, very quickly at this point as well.
Do you think Bunny can afford to lift up 2 Medivacs worth of units now to harass this back base?
I think so long as he's in good position.
Okay, because that is something maybe he might want to do soon.
Like, yeah, so long as his army is like in the right place for where Leenock's army is, and he's dropping at the same time, like, I think that's good. That would be a perfect move.
All right, well, both armies, again, if you just watch the minimap, both just moving with each other, knowing that out of position, you're going to lose a lot of stuff at this point of the game. Oh, great pick off there. Vikings grab one of the Vipers.
Very, very important there. And looking for the Fungals here. I mean, if he gets the Fungal on every Viking, like when they're all bunched up like that, that'll change the game pretty quickly as well.
Is Leenock going to force a fight here? He's got a lot of money to trade off with. If he does force a fight, he'd have to go through these filtered areas, of course. It's not a good idea, but if he does find room, if the army's out of position, and this may be the thing that does that. Zergling run by. These were Zerglings that were defending the south bases here. Have decided to come for a bit of a harassment, and look at it. Look at his army at the same time. Leenock's moving in.
Oh,
this is the distraction.
This is great here, and he's going to be in such a good position to take the CC.
Brilliant move from Leenock.
Oh yeah, 3/3 links with the Adrenal Clans. Definitely going to be a sufficient distraction here, and there's no way I don't think Bunny can defend against this. He's going to commit to it though. He knows he has to keep the CC alive.
Here we go, big fight. Fungal's going to come in, hopefully some Blinding Clouds in combination, and a good start here for Leenock, but can he keep it up? There's a lot of Marines dancing inside and outside of these Blinding Clouds, and it is a very, very close fight here. The Raven had a point defense missile in there that was helping out a little bit.
Yeah, very, very close. It's going to be a big, big trade, but as we can see, a massive bank for Leenock means he's going to go straight to Ultras here.
Oh, man, and everything's going to be waypointed over this area because he knows that very little is left of Bunny's army. But can Bunny hold on? It's been the question for the majority of this game, but
13 Ultras.
13 Ultralists. The way that Leenock's been banking, using the money from these bases towards the south here is starting to pay its, pay its due here. 4 Infestors, 13 Ultralists, a bunch of Zerglings as well.
Oh, it's looking amazing. And finally building that Baneling Nest as well, which will help out. But, I mean, as long as you got enough Fungals for the Ultras to get on top of the bio, you will completely crush that tiny army.
Yeah, absolutely nothing.
Look at the supply lead as well, 60 supply.
Great game here from Leenock, very patient, beautiful move for the Zerglings to allow access to the high ground up that north to be able to take that fight which he ever so wanted to take. And again, Zerglings, he's now spotted, Bunny that is, the Ultralist, but can he really stop anything at this point? A Fungal on this army and everything's going to die instantly.
Instantly here, and yeah, Zerg's completely denying this mining here, and that's so important at this point. Look at the money, look at the income Bunny has, and here we go. This could very well be the last fight. Great Fungal.
Yeah, great Fungal holds everything down there. Desperation auto turret comes in, but there's just simply too many Ultralists here, and Bunny knows it. GG! Well played by Leenock. And he is going to take the first map in this series. There's the browse again. He's still there, Moonglades.
He's still there, man.
He's still there.
And they're looking happy.
Looking happy.
He won that game.
Look
After
at that.
It was a huge game.
I'm not sure if he is looking happy. Look at that red, kind of sad face. I saw it. I don't know if anyone else called that, but
I didn't catch that.
I had to point it out to you.
Yeah.
The back of the eyes on monitor, but it was there.
Yeah. So very well played. Fantastic game to start things off here. These players are very well matched, and great strategy from Leenock for that map. Considering
Who is it? Is
that's
it Tasia or Snoop?
Oh, that's Snoop, man.
Is that Snoop's neck or Tasia's neck?
No face.
No faces today.
No fit. All right, that's hard.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to say Tasia.
Maybe.
And I mean the shoulders. Tasia shoulders.
Are they?
Yes.
They're pretty broad, actually.
They are broad.
Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah, let's go with Tasia. Let's go with Tasia.
All right.
So a cool game there. Some highlights you want to point out at all? Something that stood out for you as very good from Leenock or very good from Bunny?
Well, Leenock, just great work getting Bunny out of position and finding efficient trades, especially in that last sort of ditch effort to get rid of that top 5th base. I think that was definitely the ending of the game right there.
Yep.
Besides that, going into Broodlords, which is a great move, and it got completely undetected because it was a huge surprise for Bunny. And I mean, just in general, like the army choice from Leenock was a great choice. I think for the map, it is a very hard map, very awkward kind of positions and bases on that map. So going for the Roach Hydra style means you kind of get control of the mid game. The Hellion Banshee are not going to do anything, and Bio aren't going to have the timing on the map like they would against Ling Bane Muta.
Well, our next map that we're going to be going into, Moonglade, it's going to be merry-go-rounds.
Great.
Which has had its problems for Zerg, taking bases the longer the game goes. Do you think we're going to see a very similar style again?
We could very well see that very, very similar style on this map. It is very common. It can be common to go Roach Hydra on that map. It is very, very hard to get a 4th base on this map as well, which kind of leads me to believe it is an option, and we have seen it before. Granted, it is a very unpopular option. We do still see a lot of Ling Muta Bane in general.
Right.
But I wouldn't rule it out considering it is Leenock and we just saw it.
All right, I guess one of the main reasons why we do see that type of aggression is usually the ramp is, a little bit wider. The map is kind of smaller. You can kind of see aggressive plays on this map.
Yeah, you can for sure, especially from the Terran. Terran are very, very good on this map. They get map control very easily with Reapers and then into Hellions. It's such an open map for that sort of situation.
Okay. All right. Well, we are ready for map number 2 here between these two players. Which way is this going to go? Because currently Leenock is 0-2 in this group. Bunny is 0-1. A very important game for both sides. Let's jump right in and find out who is going to take this one. Is it going to be tied up? Is it going to be 2-0? As over here to the top left, kind of leftish side of this map, it is Yoey Flashwolf Leenock. And started very well in this tournament. I mean, in this series, should I say. He's had a difficult tournament, currently down 0-2, having lost versus San and Life. Very difficult opponents. Up here on the right-hand side is, of course, the Team Liquid players. The Blue Terran, it's Bunny, who had his first opening game against Tasia. It was a 0-2.
Not his best matchup, though, so he can bounce back, and he is looking good against Zerg.
There's the sad face, I was trying to show. You see it kind of? It's like the mustachy sad face.
You need a bit of an imagination for that one, I think, mate.
I've got a great imagination.
I don't. I just play games. Like, I don't know what's going on.
That's why I have such a great imagination, is because I play games.
Oh.
It fuels my imagination.
It destroyed mine.
If I had an Excel 9 to 5, my imagination wouldn't exist.
Wow. That's pretty deep, man.
I'm a deep type of caster.
Anyway, back to the game.
Moving on
from that one. we see Rax but no gas. So could we possibly see a 1 Rax expand here?
Yes, I think we possibly could.
I actually think that's going to be what's going to happen unless we see a very, very delayed gas.
I think this is nice to bring out into a series. I mean, think of it from a Zerg side. Are you really expecting this build very often? And how many times have you probably have never, so I shouldn't even ask this question, but I will anyway. How many times has your Overlord moved in and been sniped by a Marine because you weren't expecting this?
Oh, infinity times, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man, that happens all the time here, and it could very well happen here. Though Leenock being very, very careful. He did see that early Rax. He was like, okay, I got to go to the high ground here. I got to see exactly what's going on. He sees a very, very fast CC.
He moves back out, though.
Oh, Leenock, you are playing with danger.
If I'm not mistaken,
yeah, mate.
Isn't the command center timing faster with a... It is, right?
It is.
So shouldn't have he told me? He saw the command center go down.
Yeah, he should have.
His eyes been on the command center.
I think he might have been like a little bit in autopilot, being like, oh, okay, he's going for the Reaper build. I just didn't see it or something. Like,
yeah.
I feel like, yeah, he shouldn't have made that mistake. His Overlord will survive, though. It should survive.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to. Definitely Bunny tried to get that kill. Leenock very lucky there. Overlord going to escape with very minimal hit points. 4.
1 shot left would have killed it, actually.
See,
so.
that is how good of a caster you are. You saw that not dying a mile away.
I can tell these things.
I know you can. That's why you're here with me and not Nathanius.
Damn straight. And we're going to see that early bunker go down with 4 Marines, because that's exactly what you do with the 1 Rax expand with no gas. And 2 gases were added a little bit later on, so we're going to see that factory a little bit delayed. 430 factory, not bad. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see this sort of Hellion Banshee style we've seen with just about every other game from Bunny.
Or it could be some kind of Hellbat play too, right?
It could always be that. It could always be that. I mean, timing isn't that slow for any sort of timing like that as well.
All right, well, Moonglade, as we just get this game under wraps for some of the people at home who are just watching this stream on the full screen, on the the couch and the TV, because I do that a lot and I don't really know what's going on. Some of the games that we're playing at the same time as this one was Life and San. Life won 2-0.
Nice.
From Group B, games that were going on at the same time was First and True. First won 2-1.
Oh. First, First is in good shape. He's looking good.
Also, Jaedong versus Sanctuary was going on at the same time, and Jaedong won 2-0.
Wow, okay.
Jaedong jumps right back up into 2nd place in Group B, despite a bit of a worse start, I suppose you could say.
Yeah, very, very true there.
All right, back into this one, though.
Back into the game.
Back into the game, Moonclay. Focus! Focus!
I'm in, mate. I'm in.
Focus.
We're seeing Lings move across the map, actually. Slow Lings for now. Should be completing very, very soon, I believe. Yeah, nearly there. But Bunker, good position here. Will be able to zone out the Lings. And yeah, looking good. Looking
Fast
good.
Slayer.
Kind of an interesting SimCity from Bunny as well, not completely blocking the ramp or anything. Oh, no! Okay, that's a little bit of a problem there. Lings are going to see everything. They're going to kill Marines. They're going to get full scout. They see no extra CC, which is probably the biggest scout of all here.
Yeah, this is not very good here for Bunny. And remember that Leenock before this had already chosen quite a decisive strategy here. He's chosen the Fast Slayer. He's going to take all his gases. Now, this looks like it's going to be for a Fast Spire.
It does. It does.
And if you think about what we really have here for Bunny, I mean, what does he have? I mean, he's going for an armory.
He's got a medivac coming.
He's got a medivac coming.
It's going to be an armory timing.
There is an opportunity to get damage done before the Spire is out and the Mules are in the game.
Look exactly what Leenock has. He doesn't have a Bailing Nest, I believe, at this point. He's gone very, very greedy, straight to tier 2. This can actually just kill him. And it probably should, actually, because you need at least Roaches or Bailings against a Hellbat timing. If you don't have that, you better have a lot of Queens and a great surround. He doesn't have that either. So I think Bunny has chosen the right choice, the exact right choice.
I've had many a game where I'm like, surely if I just build enough Lings, it's going to be fine.
No, it actually kills Infinity Lings. That's actually what happens, especially with the medivac there. Though it is only 4 Hellbats, so not too many here, and we could actually see a big surround. Generally, you see this with like 6 to 8 more Hellbats, and you know what?
3 of them die there.
Yeah, I think he should have waited for those 2 extra Hellbats.
Spine Crawler Queens, we've transfused Lings out. Lava's now been saved for the Museless. There's 500 to 600 gas in the bank. On the other side of the map, there is no anti-air. There is none. There's a single Marine inside a bunker, and that is it right now. There's no engineering bay. And Bunny is actually looking down. He's like, wait a minute.
You what, mate?
You what, mate? You haven't got a third?
Yeah, well, he actually is a 3rd building, though. He hasn't checked it just yet. And he could cancel it, too, but you know what? Leenock being very, very sneaky. And he should be able to claim 1 more Hellbat before these are picked off. But he's got to be careful. He cannot lose all his Lings, or he loses map control completely. And he risks a counterattack.
Well, here's more transformation here for Hellbats. These are going to pull the Mulers to actually do some damage here. They're going to have to attack, defend rather than attack at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, if he crushes this attack here, he's in such a good position. He shouldn't lose any mutas from this, and he shouldn't actually lose any because he's got enough transfusers here. Looking fantastic. Yeah. And Bunny, he's in a horrible position from here because it's 2 base versus 2 base, sure. 3rd base is halfway done. And there's a lot of mutas on the map.
And Leenock just got a ticket to Drone City.
Yeah, Drone City.
Drone City time.
Same time, though, he's got to get rid of this Banshee before he can make any harassment moves here. Yeah. Already pulling all the drones, so this is, this is pretty good. This is actually good damage.
This is buying a lot of time here for Bunny. Think about what he had when the Spire finished. Nothing. He had a single Marine. He's got engineering base down. He's got his turrets being added on. He's getting Marines in here too. From this point, it doesn't look like these Mules can do that much damage to this 2-base Terran, but what they do indirectly, which is the Drone City part, is huge.
Yep, you have map control. You have complete map control. You shut down drops. You shut down Banshees. You shut down Hellions. You have map control, and you're very, very comfortable for a time until the Terran moves out with Stim, which is still way off. And +1 is even longer.
Well, there is a Banshee that's kind of snuck around this bottom left-hand side. There is going to be a Spore Crawl and a set of Queens to help defend, but at the same time as this is going on, the Mules are going to try and do some damage too.
Nice Widow Mine hit there as well, Behind the refinery, can't see it until it's too late. He should actually deal with it with that Overseer, but it looks like he will wait for now.
He's going to swing back round again here.
There we go. Got rid of it.
Nice pick up. And Banshee seems to have been dealt with as well, as more meals have been made. The double evolution chambers have finished. So, I mean, is Leenock ahead in this game? I mean, he is, but at the same time, is he really with his late upgrades and his late baneling speed?
The scariest thing will be the late baneling speed. I think he should have got that a lot earlier.
Okay.
It can kind of be very, very risky. He needs a decent creep spread around that third base if he wants to stop any sort of bio push with mines especially. It is going to be an awkward, but I think he has like enough mutas at the moment that he can kind of keep the contain for a long time and just keep Terran in his base, like keep defending.
All right, we'll see how long he can pin back Bunny. As you said, that's the longer he can, the better it is for Leenock. 5 Overlords on the way at once. He's a little bit supply bot there. And it's not really helping his game too much. As you can see, Bunny's catching up in supply quite fast here. He spots that Widow Mine. He's going to go for it. He does go for it, but
it hits.
It hits and it destroys or picks off one of the Mutalists.
You got to make sure you mutas a bunch if you want to try and one-shot a Widow Mine. Other that will happen, and you will be sad. And he should be creep spreading. He has an extra queen of that there, but he's just not using it.
That's right. He's got a lot of energy in these queens inside the main and natural too. So,
I mean, this is actually a common sort of problem with Leenock. He does kind of tunnel vision sometimes and stops creep spreading. I can completely appreciate that, but it can be a big problem if we see Bunny go for a timing on that third base, which is actually perfect for a perfect position for Bunny to attack to.
Well, right now there's no fourth hatchery. It's just about to come in. There's a lot of units being made here, and at this moment, considering the way that Bunny's played, if he was to lose a large chunk of his army, he does not really have the fastest replenishment at this point.
Oh, great run by here. I mean, with the support of the mutas, he can actually do a lot with these Zerglings. He's going to go for the turret here. If he can get rid of the turret, it's going to make things a lot easier for the mutas as well.
Yeah, and they're on that third base at the same time here. I think some banelings are getting moved just slightly southeast of this. As he's going to try and gut that third SCV line.
And this is kind of the place where Leenock is the most scary because he's got that momentum, he's got the mutas out, and he is so good at counterattacking and being aggressive like this, and just being everywhere and keeping the Terran in the base.
But if Bunny survives and weathers the storm for the next, 3-4 minutes, he's going to have the power to push out, and there is no creep spread. He's got opportunities to do well, he's got great upgrades, but it's all about now. We've got massive links to the second base, we've got banelings to the third, and
it's going to do a lot of damage, I think. Oh, yeah, pretty good.
Quite a bit of damage. 14, 15 SCVs in total, 16 with the Zerglings on the natural, and it's continuing to increase. But at the same time, Bunny pushes over to the other side of the map. He splits away.
Good splits here from Bunny.
These banelings, and he goes right back in again. And as much as Leenock is being aggressive, so is Bunny. But a lot of banelings just finished up. Bunny's going to have to split like Moses here. And it's not that good.
Not as good. I mean, one thing, there's just simply no Zerglings with these banelings. And oh, wait. Zerglings killed the third base?
No, Moonblades.
Oh, big mistake from Bunny not lifting that, and GG is called unexpectedly.
Leenock takes the series 2-0 and actually gets a win under his belt here. Having lost his first 2 games, he goes 1-2 in the group, and his hopes are still alive. He's got a very difficult run as his next opponent in this group will be Liquid Tasia, who was watching behind the eyes.
Oh, he saw everything, Apollo. He knows what's up. It's going to be a bit harder for Leenock to do that kind of style again, I think.
Yeah, but unfortunately for Bunny, he goes 0-2 in his group and is now in last place pretty much in this group at the moment. Not looking good for the Team Liquid Terran to try to fight for top 3. To my right-hand side, Danis in control. Oh no, sorry, they're not ready for us yet, I'm sorry.
No, just us 2 for now, mate.
So Moonglade, final thoughts on that before we do involve the others?
No, very well played from Leenock. I kind of expected how he would play, and it was nice to see. And Bunny didn't play bad at all. He just made a couple of mistakes. Losing the third in that game obviously triggered the GG a bit prematurely, but he wasn't in the best position either. Yeah,
I suppose it all kind of did it all stem from when the Zerglings got in and kind of saw what was going on, and then had the choice.
It helped infinitely. Like once you can scout if it's going to be aggressive, it's going to be 2 CC or 3 CC. You can go like kind of adjust your build and be like, okay, I can drone, or okay, I have to get an early bailing list and I have to be ready for this, or 2-base muta, which can help out as well, so long as you can survive the hell-bad timing.
Leenock's choices to advance from this group, very difficult because he's played 3 out of his 4 games now. He's 1 win and 2 losses. He's got 1 more game against Liquid Tasia. And if he wins that, he goes 2-2, and then there's a hope that he can scrape through maybe in 3rd place.
Maybe like a tiebreaker or something at that point, maybe. Like, Yeah, it's
But
not
at the
looking too
moment,
good for Leenock.
It does look like it's Bunny at the bottom with Leenock kind of there as well, and then the other three players being Tasia Life and
he
Sam.
has beaten Tasia before, so let's not count him out just yet.
And that game will be played on a different stream a little bit later on. I think you can find that. But actually starting not too long. I think we can involve In Control and Nathanius now. Hello. You guys watched that game. You, of course, listened to the expert knowledge and commentary of Moonglade. Your thoughts here?
I thought that this series was a little bit disappointing in the sense that I really felt Bunny had Leenock dead to rights game number 1 in many different ways. And one of the, well, we actually have the interview ready to go. So before we go too far into this, let's hear from our victor. Over to Smix and Leenock.
Thank you very much, In Control. Congratulations, Leenock, on your victory over Bunny. It was a really good series, but unfortunately, earlier in the day, you haven't had the same kind of luck. I'm just curious, what is going on with you? How is your condition? Why do you think that the day has played out the way it has for you?
이제 일단 축하드리고요. 버니 선수가 이긴 거 축하하고, 근데 전 경기들을 아쉽게도 못 이겼잖아요. 그래서 그 경기들 왜 그렇게 풀린 것 같은지 좀 얘기해 주세요.
일단 첫 번째 경기랑 두 번째 경기에 약간 손이 덜 풀린 것 같아서 좀 잔 실수가 좀 많았어요. 그래서 좀 다 좀 아쉽게 진 느낌이 있는데 좀 집중해서 꼭 이기려고 하려고요.
So Leenock says in both games that I lost, it was against Life and San. I made a lot of mistakes because I felt that my hands hadn't properly warmed up yet. They just weren't playing the way that I wanted, and because of that, I was really frustrated with myself. But I'm hoping that with this win over Bunny, that I can really focus and play better, so I can win my next series. Now, your next opponent is an actually really difficult opponent. It's Tasia. What are your thoughts on going up to face him next?
영서 지금 앞에서 웃고 있는데 같이 웃었으면 좋겠네요.
Leenock says, because Liquid Tasia is actually in the audience right in front of us, 10 feet away, and Leenock looked right at Tasia and said, well, I see him laughing, so I hope that it can get to a point where we're both laughing. So I guess he's implying the fact that he's hoping that they can both eventually make it out of the group. And last but not least, Leenock, we haven't really been able to see you so much recently. I know you've been very active in Taiwan. How are you doing over there, and what's your practice been like?
이제 마지막으로는 알죠.
제가 대만에서 생활하고 있고 해서 또 성적도 그렇게 좋지 않아서 자주 안 보였는데 근데 이번에 이제 한국에서 이제 대회 많이 열고 또 해외 대회도 계속 꾸준히 참가할 거기 때문에 많이 지켜봐 주시고 열심히 하겠습니다.
He says, yes, I have been living in Taiwan, and I haven't really had the best results lately, and that's why you guys haven't seen me so much. But next year, there's going to be many tournaments in Korea, and I do plan on attending as many foreign tournaments as well. So please continue to cheer for me, and I promise to do my best here as well. So thank you very much, Leenock. Best of luck in your next match against Tasia. Guys, we will be back after this short commercial break, but when we do come back, it will be Evil Genius's Jaedong versus Liquid Hero, so stay tuned.